Hello and welcome to today's video, where we'll be diving deep into the fascinating world of the heart. The heart is a complex and essential organ, and understanding its structure is the key to understanding how it functions and why it's so important. The heart is located in the thorax, between the lungs, and is surrounded by the pericardium, a sac that contains a small amount of fluid to help lubricate the heart. The heart is divided into four chambers: the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium, and the left ventricle. Let's take a closer look at each of these chambers and their function. The right atrium is the upper chamber on the right side of the heart. This is where blood that has been depleted of oxygen enters the heart. The right atrium is responsible for receiving blood from the body and directing it into the right ventricle. To ensure proper flow, the right atrium is equipped with the superior and inferior vena cava, two veins that bring blood from the upper and lower body into the heart. The right ventricle is the lower chamber on the right side of the heart. This is where the blood is pumped out of the heart and into the lungs, where it is re-oxygenated. The right ventricle is responsible for providing enough pressure to push the blood out of the heart and into the lungs, where it can pick up new supplies of oxygen. To achieve this, the right ventricle has a thick and muscular wall that can generate the necessary pressure. The left atrium is the upper chamber on the left side of the heart. This is where oxygen-rich blood enters the heart from the lungs. The left atrium is responsible for receiving blood from the lungs and directing it into the left ventricle. To ensure proper flow, the left atrium is equipped with four pulmonary veins, which bring oxygen-rich blood from the lungs into the heart. The left ventricle is the lower chamber on the left side of the heart. This is where the oxygen-rich blood is pumped out of the heart and into the rest of the body, providing the body with the oxygen and nutrients it needs. The left ventricle is the most muscular chamber in the heart, and it's equipped with a thicker and stronger wall than the other chambers. This allows it to generate the necessary pressure to pump blood throughout the body, even against resistance from the blood vessels. The heart is also connected to several major blood vessels, including the aorta, the vena cava, and the pulmonary artery and vein. The aorta is the largest blood vessel in the body, and it carries oxygen-rich blood from the left ventricle to the rest of the body. The vena cava is the largest vein in the body, and it carries oxygen-depleted blood back to the right atrium. The pulmonary artery carries blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. To understand the heart's function, it's important to understand the role of the heart valves. The heart valves are flaps of tissue that regulate the flow of blood through the heart and prevent it from flowing backward. There are four valves in the heart: the tricuspid valve, the pulmonary valve, the mitral valve, and the aortic valve. The tricuspid valve is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle, and it controls the flow of blood from the right atrium into the right ventricle. The pulmonary valve is located between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, and it controls the flow of blood from the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery. The mitral valve is located between the left atrium and the left ventricle, and it controls the flow of blood from the left atrium into the left ventricle. The aortic valve is located between the left ventricle and the aorta, and it controls the flow of blood from the left ventricle into the aorta. The heart beats in a rhythmic pattern, which is controlled by electrical impulses generated by the sinoatrial (SA) node, located in the right atrium. These impulses cause the heart muscle to contract, pushing blood through the heart and into the blood vessels. During each heartbeat, the right atrium contracts, pushing blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle then contracts, pushing the blood through the pulmonary valve and into the pulmonary artery, which takes it to the lungs to pick up oxygen. The oxygen-rich blood then returns to the left atrium through the pulmonary veins, and the left atrium contracts, pushing the blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle then contracts, pushing the blood through the aortic valve and into the aorta, which carries it to the rest of the body. And that, in a nutshell, is how the heart works. Understanding the structure and function of the heart is crucial to understanding how to maintain a healthy heart and prevent heart disease. Thank you for watching today's video on the structure of the heart. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about heart health, be sure to leave a comment below. Until next time, take care.